So I work for Compassion and Choices, and we work on patient-directed care at the end of life. Our mission is to empower everyone to chart their own end-of-life journey. And in California, actually, we just were able to pass a bill to improve the End-of-Life Option Act, which will go into effect in January. So right now we're working with healthcare systems and hospices as well as medical providers to make sure they're ready. And one of the most exciting changes to the End-of-Life Option Act is that healthcare systems and hospices will need to have on their website what their policies are. Now, you may not know what the End-of-Life Option Act is, and you're not alone. What it does is it authorizes the ability for a person who is terminally ill with 6 months or less to live, this is someone who's imminently dying, the ability to get a prescription for aid in dying medication that they could take to ease their suffering at the end of life, to peacefully end their suffering, so that they don't have to go down the course their terminal illness has planned for them. So this bill was originally passed in 2015. We were able to amend it this year to improve it because there's actually a 13-step process to access it. So what we found was that really the only people who were able to access it tended to be people with a lot of privilege, and that's not what end of life is about. Everyone who meets the eligibility requirements should be able to access the End-of-Life Option Act. We're working across the country to authorize medical aid in dying for people who are terminally ill, but we're also doing a lot of work just around empowering everyone to chart their own end-of-life journey. And so we're looking at underserved communities, making sure that people know what their options are and are able to talk about it, because every culture is different, and in some cultures it's so difficult to talk about end of life. And so then when your loved one is terminally ill or they are no longer able to talk or describe what they want at the end of life, it can cause so much stress and a lot of problems, really. So we're looking at working from the ground up, talking to people in different communities, finding out what they need. Again, COVID's been horrible, but it has helped people to kind of talk more about what end of life could look like.